Savadutam Parikrana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamsana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Varevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavani Paschatyadesakarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this ceremony of the Adivas, this is from Chaitanya Lila, as we heard. His Grace Padmanabhana Prabhu was describing how Janavi Devi arranged this at the, was it in Keturigram? In Keturigram, Narottam Das Thakur's place. She organized the first Gaur Purnima festival there on the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And many devotees came, many great devotees came from different parts, and they installed many different deities also. And it was a very wonderful festival. All the devotees were taking part. Narottam Das Thakur was there, of course. It was his place. Janavi was there. She was the Acharya. And then other great devotees, they came not only from Mayapur, they came from Vrindavan, they came from Puri, they came from many places, all came to observe this wonderful Gaur Purnima festival in honor of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in the course of the festival, the devotees could feel the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. He personally manifested there, especially during the kirtans. Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, they would personally appear in the kirtans. So when the devotees have that mode, when they have that mode to submission and surrender to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the Lord reciprocates and He manifests Himself. Just as He does, there are different places where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests regularly. For example, at the home of Sachimata, whenever Sachimata would offer food, then Lord Chaitanya would personally come there in his Avirbhav form and accept the offerings. Lord Chaitanya, of course, had left home at the age of 24. He had renounced the family life and he'd gone away as a sannyasi. So he could not come home again because his wife was there. A sannyasi will never come where a previous wife, that's not allowed. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never went back home, but in his Avirbhav form, he would personally appear in the home of Sachimata and accept the offerings, because his mother would cook for him, and out of love, she would offer the food, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his love for his mother, he would come there and accept the offerings and eat the offerings and taste the offerings. So that was one place where Sri Chaitanya manifested himself. Another place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared was in the home of Raghava Pandit. Raghava Pandit was a great devotee who lived in Panihati. Panihati is on the bank of the Ganges, and it's not very far away from Calcutta. Very near, actually, to Calcutta. Not to go to Mayapur, it's several hours to go to Mayapur, but to go to Panihati, you can go very easily. You could take even the city bus to go there to Panihati. And so Raghava Pandit was living there in Panihati, and it was there that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come. Because Raghava Pandit was a very great devotee, and he lived there along with his sister. His sister was called, she was Damayanti, and they were both very devoted to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They would cook preparations for Lord Chaitanya, and they would prepare these preparations, and they would put them in a sack, and then they would carry them. When devotees all went to Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri, they would carry the sack of all the different preparations which Raghava Pandit and his sister had prepared, and they would bring them to Jagannath Puri and give to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by the mystic potency of these devotees, everything they cooked would stay perfectly fresh. Nothing would go bad. Although they cooked it several weeks and even months before, but when they brought it to Jagannath Puri, it would still be fresh. And they would give, these sacks were called Raghava Jili. Raghava Jili, the sacks of Raghava Pandit. He would bring this food to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would accept it, and he would keep it, and he wouldn't immediately eat it. And then sometimes Raghava Pandit would have to remind Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we brought you all of these preparations, you have not tasted anything yet. So then Lord Chaitanya would bring them out, and he would begin to taste them, and everything would be fresh and very relishable, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would enjoy these offerings of Raghava Pandit. And whenever Raghava Pandit would offer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come there to the home of Raghava Pandit, and he would enjoy being there in the house of Raghava Pandit. And in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reciprocating with his devotees. He liked to appear, and he would appear in his Avirbhav form, the unmanifested form. But those who were devotees, they could see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was in Panihati that Raghunath Das also got the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So this Panihati is a very special holy place, and we have a temple there now by the grace of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. He purchased a temple there just on the banks of the Ganga, and it's just beside the spot where Lord Nityananda gave mercy to Raghava Pandit. Raghava Pandit, Raghava Pandit, of course, is also there in Panihati, but Raghunath got the mercy of Lord Nityananda at Panihati also. So Panihati is an important place. Raghunath had come there to meet Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda was traveling with his devotees, and they were going from village to village performing Sankirtan. Lord Nityananda had been told by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he should stay in Bengal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "It's not very convenient for me to be in Bengal now that I'm a sannyasi." So he said, "You should stay there and preach there." And so Lord Nityananda was traveling in Bengal. And Bengal means East Bengal and West Bengal. Nowadays we only think of, Bengal, the part of India, West Bengal, but there's also East Bengal, which is Bangladesh. So Lord Nityananda, many devotees, they all go to Bangladesh, they would travel there. There are many holy places there in Bangladesh. But this place, Panihati, is also very nice, very special place, because Raghunath Das got the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, Raghunath Das was able to leave his material life and go and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. And he never went back again to the material world. He stayed in Jagannath Puri so long as Lord Chaitanya was manifesting his pastimes. And when Lord Chaitanya completed his pastimes and disappeared from this world, so then at that time Swarup Damodar Goswami also disappeared. And within a year, Gadadhar Pandit also left the world. So many great devotees, they disappeared from the world. And Raghunath thought, what to do? There's no point for me to remain in this world. So he thought, I will go to Vrindavan and I will jump off Govardhan Hill and end my life. However, Raghunath Das went there to Vrindavan and he got the association of Rupa and Sanatana. And in this way he remained in the world for quite a long time. And he went to reside also at Radhakund, and he helped to develop the Radhakund to make the beautiful bathing ghat there. So in this way Raghunath Das made wonderful contribution to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who discovered, who renovated all the holy places. These places were not known to the devotees. And it was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who had to come there and personally show the devotees. For example, Radhakund. Nobody knew, where is Radhakund? But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none different from Lord Krishna. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and he went into the middle of a rice field and he told the devotees, this is the spot, this is the place, this is Radhakund. And the devotees then, they were surprised, they wondered, how could it be just a rice field? But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is omniscient, he's the Supreme Lord, he's Krishna himself. And he revealed that this is actually the spot, this is Radhakund. And so the devotees, in course of time, they were able to renovate that and make it into the beautiful bathing ghat, which is there today. Not immediately, but after some time, Krishna arranged. Krishna sent someone with money, and they used the money to make the beautiful bathing ghat, which we call Radhakund. The whole village now, of course, is called Radhakund. But in the times of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was nothing there. It was only rice fields and some wheat fields and villages, nothing really, not much of a village there. Now, Radhakund is quite a big village. It's more like a town than a village. It's many people there, many houses. So everything has changed since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged the devotees to perform different functions like this. Lord Chaitanya would celebrate the different festivals like Dol Yatra, and of course all the holy days, the appearances of the different avatars. Lord Chaitanya would celebrate them. And one time also they celebrated Vyasa Puja. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said he wanted to observe Vyasa Puja, and they arranged a big festival. So we should understand that the Vyasa Puja, it is not just it's not simply a glorification of one person, but it's a glorification of all of the acharyas in the line of the disciplic succession. The spiritual teacher will sit on a seat called the Vyas Asana, which means the seat of Vyasadeva. So the spiritual teacher is considered to be the representative of Vyasadeva. Of course, he's not Vyasadeva, but he's considered representative because he's speaking the message of Vyasadeva. He's speaking from the scriptures which Srila Vyasadeva compiled, like Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of all of the Vedic literatures. So this festival is to honor all of the acharyas, and particularly, of course, we want to honor the founder acharya of our society, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In our ISKCON society, when a devotee receives initiation, it's not that he's simply being initiated as a disciple of the Guru, but he's being initiated as a member of ISKCON. So this is a very important distinction between the ISKCON society and other spiritual teachers. Other spiritual teachers, they may accept disciples and they think of the disciple as being their property. But in ISKCON, when you're initiated in ISKCON, you become a member of ISKCON. It's not that you belong to that spiritual teacher, but you're accepting that spiritual teacher as a representative of the society, and he is initiating you into the society so that you can be connected to the founder acharya of our society, who of course is His Divine Grace, Abhaycharan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And by connecting to Srila Prabhupada, then we connect to the previous acharyas, just as Srila Prabhupada accepted initiation from his spiritual teacher, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is also known as Prabhupada. So the connection to the spiritual teacher is crucial for progress in spiritual life. We do need to accept the spiritual teacher. It's the tradition. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation. His spiritual master was Ishwara Puri. And then we saw also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also took initiation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's initiating guru was someone called Vipin Bihari Goswami. And at the time Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was initiated, Vipin Bihari Goswami was younger than him. So although Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a very learned an aristocratic person. He had been the High Court judge in Jagannath Puri, and he'd written many books and everything. But he understood the importance of accepting the spiritual teacher, and he took initiation from Bipin Bihari Goswami. His Shiksha Guru, of course, was Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And when it came time for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to establish the Gaudiya Math, at that time he chose what pictures to put on the altar and the line of disciplic succession. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati put Jagannath Das Babaji to the left side of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, indicating that Jagannath Das Babaji was his guru. But Jagannath Das Babaji was his Shiksha Guru. He never actually gave him Diksha, but he did give Shiksha. So Jagannath Das Babaji was given that position. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati wanted to teach all of us that actually Shiksha is more important than Diksha. Taking the instruction is more important than simply being initiated. And many people come and get initiation, but not everyone takes instruction. And so it's the instructions which actually help us to progress on the spiritual path. We need to take the instructions from both the spiritual teacher in his different manifestations, just like Srila Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for all the devotees in ISKCON. So as the Shiksha Guru, he is guiding all the devotees in ISKCON. We're all under the shelter of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we get the instruction from Prabhupada by regularly reading his books. His books are very central in our ISKCON society, that we give classes based on the books of Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada's books are based on the teachings of his Guru and the previous Acharyas, and particularly the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who emphasized the Srimad Bhagavatam, that this was the ripened fruit of the Vedas. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself would take great pleasure every day in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And he would go to hear it from the mouth of Gadadhar Pandit. That was usually it would take place at the temple of Tota Gopinath. Those of you who have been to Jagannath Puri, you'll know there's the temple of Tota Gopinath there, and the deity of Gadadhar Pandit is there. And so Gadadhar Pandit would stay there, serve his deity of Tota Gopinath, and daily Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go there and hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of Gadadhar Pandit. And so Gadadhar Pandit, Lord Chaitanya would like to hear particularly the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. They would be very pleasing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed 18 years in Jagannath Puri, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. So our ISKCON centers are also based on these same principles, that we worship the deity, and every day we also speak Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a basic part of the spiritual program. So tomorrow morning also, we will have also Srimad Bhagavatam class, as every ISKCON center does. It's very important for us to regularly hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave great importance to the hearing process. The more we read Prabhupada's books, then the more we are hearing the spiritual knowledge. We want to progress in spiritual life. It's important for us to hear, and to hear from authorized sources. So if we hear from Srila Prabhupada's books, then we can get good knowledge. Alright, so we will not talk any further tonight. We're going to have a program tomorrow. We have many things to do tomorrow, so we will end here. Is there any question before we close? If there's any question? Any question? You got to Sachi? Yes?
Lord Krishna, we know that Lord Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand the mood of Srimati Radharani. Yes? So, but Srimati Radharani is the energy, Hladini of Lord Krishna. Yes? Srimati Radharani is the energy of Lord Krishna, Hladini energy. So, why Lord Krishna couldn't understand? Thank you. Why Lord Krishna couldn't understand the mood of his own energy?
Well, I wouldn't say that he couldn't understand the mood of his energy, but he just liked to hear. He liked to hear from Gadadhar Pandit. And of course, he's aware of the identity of Gadadhar Pandit. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is cultivating Radha Bhav. So what better person to cultivate Radha Bhav from than Gadadhar Pandit? Because Gadadhar Pandit is the expansion of Srimati Radharani. Yes, it's the Lord's energy. You can't say that he doesn't understand it, but he likes to hear. He likes to hear it directly from the manifestation of that energy. That's why we heard from Gadadhar Pandit. It's not that he doesn't know anything. He knows everything, but he takes pleasure in hearing it from the devotees. Just like Lord Chaitanya met with Ramananda Rai. Now, Lord Chaitanya asked questions to Ramananda Rai. Many questions Lord Chaitanya asked to Ramananda Rai. It's not that Lord Chaitanya doesn't know, or he's asking questions. It doesn't mean he doesn't know, it's just he wants to hear from these devotees. Just like in the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you study the chapter 87 of the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, the prayers by the personified Vedas. So it describes, there was a question asked by Maharaj Parikshit to Sukadeva Goswami. He wanted to know how Brahman, which is spirit, could ever be described by material works. So Sukadeva Goswami said, oh, this question was asked previously. This question was asked in, up in Janaloka. Janaloka is one of the higher planets in the universe. Above Swargaloka, there is Mahaloka, there is Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. 4 planetary systems at the top of the universe. Satyaloka is the planet of Brahma. So Janaloka is one of the planets way up in the top of the universe. And great sages live there. And the 4 Kumaras were also there. So the 4 Kumaras were there in Janaloka, And the question was asked there also, that how can Brahman be described by material words? And so it said all of the great sages who were present, they could all answer it because they were all fully realized in knowledge. They all knew the answer, but one of them was chosen to speak. Just like I'm speaking tonight, now there are so many learned devotees here. It's not that I'm the only one, but somehow I'm chosen to speak. So there are so many other people who could also speak and probably speak better than me. But I am chosen to speak tonight. And so similarly on Janaloka, the question was to be discussed. So they asked Sanandan Kumar, one of the 4 Kumaras, you speak. Now any of them could have spoken. There are 4 Kumaras, they all know. But one of them was chosen to speak. And there were so many other great sages. They were also there, they could have spoken. But one person was chosen to speak. Just like when Maharaj Parikshit was cursed, Sukadeva Goswami came to speak. There were Narada Muni was there, Vyasadeva was there, they were all there. Why didn't they speak? Sukadeva was chosen to speak. He was the one chosen, so they came to hear. Narada Muni and Vyasadeva, Vyasa is the father of Sukadeva Goswami, they're happy to hear. And so in the same way, Lord Chaitanya will be happy to hear from Gadadhar Pandit. Not that he is ever in ignorance about him. Alright, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Melaka Narasimha Maharaja ki
Jai. Maharaj distribute pressure.
Okay, let all the children come and take the prasad first.